Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together putting on our makeup, and then we're going to learn a Bible verse as well. So speaking of that, our foundation verse for this podcast is going to be, I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that comes from Psalm 119, verse 11. And all of our verses are going to be coming from the Word in Color coloring book. So you can see that QR code and that link on your screen there. So every week we have a different Bible verse, and then every week we have a different page to color, kind of some graphics that go around with that. And so just lots of different things to help you really hide that word in your heart. So our verse from last week, if I can get that up there. There we go. Our verse from last week came from the book of Revelation, and that was, I have opened a door that no one can close, and that was Revelation 3:8. So this week we're going to be looking from a verse from Lamentation, and this verse is his faithful love. Let me see if I can say his faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. So you can see that we are learning these verses together as we go along. So at the end of the podcast, we're going to be reviewing kind of what we've done so far. We are coming so near the end of our first episode. So I think we've only got like maybe 5 verses left. So exciting time. Look forward to sharing with you what we're going to do season 2. So exciting. Just wait till you see that. All right, so let's get that off our screen now. Now, our theme today, I debated on what to call this. So I almost called it Easter egg because the colors of it are kind of Easter egg, but we're stepping into Christmas. So it was a little weird. So we're just going to call it lavender, pink, and yellow. I know, very adventurous. So, but to me, it still looks like an Easter egg. All right, so let's just get diving in here. We are going to start with our all-nighter primer, which I actually already have on. So that is the Urban Decay all-nighter primer, and that you're just going to use 1 pump of that and put that on all over your face. Start from the center, work your way out. Then we're going to go to our Bye Bye Under Eye. This is the shade 11 Nude. You do whatever shade works for you. You're going to have it be 1 to 2 shades lighter than what your foundation is. So we're going to use just a little ribbon of this. This works better when it warms up to your body temperature. So we're just going to put this where we want it, and then we're going to let it set for just a minute so that it can warm up so we can blend it out. So we're just going to get it kind of where we want it. And we're going to leave it there for just a second. You know what? I just realized, did I tell you good morning, beautiful? So sorry if I did not. And let me get my chat going on here because I can hear it dinging already. Okay. So nice to have y'all here with me this morning. And ask any question that you want as we go along, and I'll answer that on the screen with you. So I know we've got lots of different platforms joining this at the same time. So I can see all the different, chats kind of all in dialogue together. So no matter what platform you are on joining me live today, we'll get that answered on there for you. I am going to be using Real Techniques. This is the Magic Air Blend Sponge. Love this one for a couple of reasons, but one reason is because it doesn't suck up your foundation. Second reason is because the shape of it's just marvelous. So we're going to use the pointy end for the concealer, and then the flat end for the foundation. I know you can see I probably need a new one now. Okay, so pointy end. Now that this is warmed up, we're going to blend that out. You can see how much easier that blends out once you let it warm up. And we are going to use this to conceal anything we don't want to be looking at. For me, that's going to be a little bit of darkness around the eye area. Got some redness on the top of the cheek. Going to use it on the eyelid a little, like an eye primer. And then we're going to blend that out. And this is just going to kind of even out that tone before you get the foundation on, so the foundation can do its job more effectively. All right. Foundation we're going to be using today is the Lancôme Teint Idole. This is shade 225N. And I like this foundation. I like that they added the SPF. Not so excited about the sort of serum texture it has now, but I do like it. So we're going to use some partial pumps, about that much. And we're going to kind of quadrant off our face and do those. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter where you start. Just start somewhere. So for me, I like to start in the middle. And we're just going to tap blot blur. Just gentle little pounces. And now we're going to use another partial pump. We're going to move to the cheek. Correct. You can use whatever foundation you have. I'm just sharing with you what it is that I use. I do get compliments all the time on my foundation. But we've all got different skin types. We've all got different preferences for the finish. We've got different preferences for the amount of coverage that it gets. So, you find what works for you. There you go. If you don't have a clue what works for you, come see me at my store in Midlothian, and we will get you a shade match, have conversations about your expectations from your foundation, and find one that's perfect for you. And another partial. We're just going to blend that out so it looks beautiful blended into our neck. All right, another partial. Here we go. And that's going to do our forehead. I was going to wear my Hello Kitty headband tonight. I know, right? I was going to wear my Hello Kitty headband today, but I forgot to grab it. I'll have to do that next week. All right, we're getting down to the eyebrow, but we're not actually going to cover over the eyebrow with foundation. You're just going to go right up to it gently like that. Okay, now that our skin tone has all been evened out with the foundation, we are going to set that foundation, then work on a little contouring. So let me show you first. I'm using the Lancôme. This is the Long Time No Shine. Things I love about this powder. If you have combination oily skin, this does a great job of oil control. If you don't have combination oily skin, that's all right. It's going to give you a nice, pleasant matte finish. And then it's just milled so fine that it's just going to give you a beautiful set to that foundation. And I'm going to start under the eye area. Pretty much I'm just using whatever was left in the reservoir from the last time I used it. Usually there's a little bit left in there, and that's perfect for the eye area. Now I'm going to recap it. You're just going to tip it upside down and give it a couple of taps. And then it will distribute the right amount of powder into that reservoir for you. And we're just going to tap that into that foundation. Just sort of pouncing it in place. Yes, that is correct. You can use a brush if you want. I just don't like the fluff that a brush does, but that's totally just a personal preference. All right, get that forehead. Now we are done with that. So let's move on to contouring. So we are going to start first with the bronzer or the low light. This one's kind of a mix between a warm cool, so it does a good job of contouring, although technically it's probably in the bronzer category. Okay, so I'm using a dual-ended brush from It Cosmetics. We're going to use this end for the bronzer. We're going to use this end for the highlighter. So this is the NARS. This is the Laguna 2. This is their original color that they had done. And you can see, well, I've kind of hit pan in it, but you can see that this is kind of a bridge between a warm and a cool, so it works perfect for this. I'm going to start out with the flat side of the brush. Just give it a couple swipes in there. We're going to work right above where that bone is. Keep it up above so we can get a little lift from it. And we're working kind of in a U shape. Still using the flat part. We're going to move up to the hairline. Give a little warmth up here. Now we're going to transition to the side. And on the side, we're going to work under that jawline. Still using the side. We're going to carve out our nose here. All right. I'm going to switch to the highlighter now. Using the MAC. This is the Double Gleam Extra Dimensions Skin Finish. And I like this one because it has a little bit of shimmer in it, but not too much. So we're just going to use the flat part of that round brush. And we're going to hit the top of our cheek and right beside the eye bone there. And then we're going to run it down the center of our face, making sure we hit that Cupid's bow. Okay, almost there, almost there. Now we're going to switch to a brush blush. I am going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the volume 4. And today we're going to be living in this one right here. These are very pigmented. So you are literally just going to tap, tap. That is plenty for a whole side. So tap, tap. We're going to work between the bronzer and the highlighter. There you go. And then just, I mean, you may not even need to tap it. You just need a little tiny bit. We're just going to go over this up here, come down just a smidge. Don't add any extra, but hit the tip of your nose and the chin. There you go. Just kind of work over it a little to blend it out. All right, ta-da! You have contoured. So, contoured. All right, so, oh, you know what? I do not have our verse scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I am so sorry. All right, so now that you have the verse scrolling across the bottom of your screen, let's say that verse together. The faithful love of the Lord never ends, and that comes from Lamentations 3:22. All right, we are going to switch to our lips now. I am going to be lining with the, what is this? This is the NYX retractable lip liner in the shade Hot Pink. Things I love about this, because it's retractable, you don't have to sharpen it all the time. And it's smooth enough, but dense enough that you get a nice line without it like blending out everywhere. All right, so we're going to start in the Cupid's bow. We're going to first line the outside, like writing on that lip line. And then we're going to come with a little lighter pressure to the inside. Take a step back. Make sure you like your Cupid's bow. All right, now with a little lighter pressure, line just inside of that. All right. Now today I am going to be using the MAC Retro Matte. This is Candy Yum Yum. And we're going to start out in the Cupid's bow first. And I think it is time to retire this one. So let the edge of that lipstick help line out that lip. These retro mattes just are so pigmented and wear so well. All right. So now we are going to move on to our eyes. Today we're going to be using the Juvia's Place Culture Palette. And we're going to be living here. We're going to be using Effique. We're going to be using Caliban. We're going to be using Kobo, just a teeny bit. We're going to be using Naira Land. I really should learn how to say these names correctly. This one here, and then we're going to be using Kawas over here. So that's where did I not show that? There you go. Okay, Kawas, this purple one here. So you can do this look. You're just going to need a light, a medium, and a dark. And for today, that is a purple, a pink, and a yellow. So we're going to start out first with an all-over shadow brush, and we're going to get that in the Effique. And we're just going to get our top of our brow bone going here with just a little color. And we just want that to be like a highlighter color. So like a non-color color. All right. Here, I'll set that over here. Then we are going to move to, let's actually start with the Naira Land. So we're going to be using a traditional a traditional shadow brush, and you're just going to get a little bit of that, and we're going to start with that on the inside here. And we're just going to kind of use that as a placeholder for right now. And then grab another shadow brush. And this time we're going to be in the Caliban. And we're going to be doing the most of our eyelid with this one. So we're going to go right up next to the yellow that we did. And you're going to cover all the way, about 3/4 of the way across. And we'll blend it all out, so you don't need to be too precise about it right now. We're going to go just a little bit over the top of where that yellow one was. Here we go. Do that same thing on the other side. Go just over the top of that. Now, if you have hooded eyes, at this point, you're going to look straight ahead and make sure that your shadow has come up above the fold of your eye. And if not, raise it up just a smidge. I have a tendency to always be under. So for me, I'm going to have less distance from here to here than if you don't have a hooded eye. If you have a hooded eye, you may have a larger distance from here to here. Okay, so we're looking forward. We're making sure that you can see that shadow up above. There we go. All right. So now we are going to grab another shadow brush. This one I'm going to actually use an angled brush for. And this one is going to be in the color Kawas. And so we're just using that angled brush. We're going to be using that flat part right here. So get that Kawas. And we're going to hit that outside corner here with that. And we're going to work it just up a little bit. Just like how we covered the pink over here, we're going to cover the purple over here. Okay, and then we have our dusting brush. So any flyaways that you got right now, just dust those away. And I know we got some stuff blowing around in the wind today, so I'm just going to tap the corners of those eyes there. Now you can see we've got kind of a foundation for what we're doing. So what we're going to do is blend all that out now. So I am going to go back to the yellow brush. Gonna get that in the Narialand and just kind of go over that, over the pink area, just a little bit. We'll come back and catch that corner here in a second. Now you're gonna go back to your pink, get that in that Kobo a little bit. Go back over the area where it meets the yellow. Go back over that top up there. And you're just kind of going back and forth there. Carve that out just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to grab the angled brush with that Kawas. We're just going to come back in here, go over that a little bit. Okay, gonna grab that initial brush that we used while we were in the Feek. Don't really need any shadow on this. We're just gonna kind of go over right where those two things are meeting. And just sort of go over it a little bit. All right, now we're gonna be using an angled liner brush. It looks like this here. This is actually the MAC. I can't tell if it's a 263 or 268. But we're going to be using this one here. And we are going to start with the Nairoland. And you're just going to brush that top edge right on there in the shadow. So we're just getting on the very, very tip. Right there in the corner. And then we're going to work back just a little bit. Okay, other side. All right, now before I get to what's going to go on the underside, we're going to use our underliner and overliner first. So we're going to be using the retractable eyeliner from NYX. This is in the shade Black. And this is a mechanical as well. So first thing we're going to do is line about the top half with this. And then we're going to line the lower right up next to that lash line, about halfway across. Just a light line. The bottom of the line doesn't need to be too perfect, but you do want that top part of that line to be smooth. All right, now that we got that going on, we're going to go back to our liner brush that we were using. Again, we're still going to be using this edge. This time I want you to go into the cowas. And we're just going to go from the outside corner and blend that in. All the way till it meets the yellow. Okay. Woo. Any fallout? I do feel like it needs just a little bit of intensity, so I'm going to dip in the Idole, which is the darker purple, and we're just going to do that right here. Sticking right along that line with that liner. And trying not to poke oneself in the eye. All right, any fallout? Now just double check and make sure that your yellow and your purple are meeting each other. If not, go ahead and dip in just a smidge. There you go. Okay. See, I told you it looked like an Easter egg. All right, well, that's okay. Christmas and Easter go hand in hand, right? All right, now we're going to be lining that top part of the lid with the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is the Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. Love the tip on this. So just give it some, I store this one upside down in my container too, so that it's always ready to go. The tip is primed. And we're just going to line along that whole top lid there. In the event, when we put our lashes on, there's any kind of a gap between your lash line and the lashes, this will totally hide that. It also just gives kind of a nice frame to your eye as well. So we're just looking for a nice thin line. All right, once you feel like you have nailed that, let's move on to our brow. Woohoo! All right, so yes, my hair has lightened a little bit. And so what we are going to do is we are going to be using, I'm going to go back to the Jumbo NYX eyeliner. This is in the color Cupcake, I think. Yeah. So I'll be using this. Looks like it needs a little bit of a tip on it. So this one compared to the other Jumbo that we were using, this one does have to be sharpened. It is not retractable. So whatever your brow product is that you're using, you're going to use that here. If you don't love your brow product, the shape of your brow, whatever about your brow, come in and see my girl Olivia at the store. She is going to get you hooked up. She can wax it. She's doing threading now. You can get a lamination. So you got nice, wonderful full brows. That will put them where they are supposed to be and they will stay there. She can also do brow tinting, which I dearly love when I have, semi-normal colored hair. But that brow tinting makes where you have to use less brow product over the next couple of weeks. So, well, 4 weeks, depending on how you take care of it. So whatever your brow product of choice is, you're going to fill in your brow. I have fashion colored hair, so I frequently use, I don't know, it could be a lip liner, could be an eyeliner. You just never know. Again, my philosophy is if it's good for your face, it's good for your face. All right. Catch the other side. Yes, that is true. She will do a brow mapping, so you can make sure your brow starts and stops where it's supposed to, according to your face and eye shape. Yes, she will totally help you with that. She'll also show you how to use the different brow products. So maybe you're new to, pomade or something. She will explain all of that to you so you'll know what to do when you leave the store. If you're not sure what color to use, she will help with that too. So yeah, you'll be in good hands with Olivia. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put a little mascara on our lashes. For me, my lashes are, see them? They're kind of blonde. So we're going to put some mascara on so that they'll be black, so they'll blend in seamlessly with the false lash. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Lash Curler. I saw the one that they did for this holiday season, and it's super cute, but I don't really like the spiky things on the end. So one day I'll get a new one. All right, so you are going to put your lash curler. You want it to crimp down on your lashes, but you do not want it to actually like pinch your eye. So if when you're clamping this down, you feel a pinch, let go, pull it out just a tiny bit, and then try again. So find that perfect sweet spot. Right about there. And then we're going to say our verse together. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. Say that one more time. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. Now release that. Find the sweet spot on the other side. All right, when you've got that, here we go. You ready? The faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. All right. Now, I assure you, if you're doing that, not just on Thursdays while we're hanging out, but while you're doing your makeup every day, it will definitely help you to be able to memorize your memory verse. And it's little things when you incorporate the verse into your life in these ways that help you make it a part of your life to hide that word in your heart. It's like memorizing accidentally, except it's on purpose. Okay. So we're just going to use, I didn't tell you. I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics. This is the Bad Gal Bang. Nice. I almost used the blue one today. I think they've actually discontinued that. But I wanted to wear false lashes. So, I guess you could do the blue on yours, but not the kind of look I was going for. Although that would sort of fit with the Easter eggness, huh? Okay, and again, we're just looking for a light coat. We just want all the hairs to be black. And if God gifted you with black hair, yay. And now we're going to catch those under eyes. So whether you have black hair or not black hair, you still want to get some mascara on your lower lashes. And I'm actually going to break out the mirror for that. All right. So we're just going to get a nice even coat on those bottom lashes. Going all the way to where the lash meets the skin. Same thing on the other side. All right. Now, if you do what I just did, which is get a little bit of mascara on your cheek there. Take your bullet, has a little bit of powder residue on it, and just erase that. There you go. And now we are going to put on our lashes. Today I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian lash in Zaria. So these lashes are already trimmed. But if you needed to trim it, you would do it from the outside edge of the lash. These are flared, so it's narrow on the inside, wider on the outside, so super easy to tell where it is that you need to trim from. But you're going to trim from the outside edge until you don't want to feel any poking on the inside or the outside. If you feel any poking, then you need to trim your lash just a little bit. You might also just like a 3/4 lash. Maybe you don't want full volume. And then in that case, you could trim off a little more than that. They do make 3/4 lashes though, if you wanted to do that. I am using the velour tools. So this is the little tool so that you can pull the lashes off the tray without pulling on them or distorting them. And then also it just helps you to get that lash on a little bit more precisely. So I am going to be using the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue. And I like it has a paddle on the end rather than the little bit of the brush that you see sometimes. It just seems to smear out a little bit better, especially if you have to do a touch-up. So we're going to be putting the lash on the edge of the band, and then we're going to turn it and we're going to put it on the inside edge of the band. So the first thing we're going to do is hit the top edge. And then we're going to do the inside edge. Then we're going to set that one down. Grab the other lash. And then we'll do the same thing on this one. First doing the top edge. And then we're going to do the inside flat edge. Now, not all lashes have this nice flatness band on there. Most of them do. But if you're doing one of those where it's got the clear band, I definitely need a new lash glue. It would help me. Okay, get a little too much glue on there. Just get it off with your finger. You'll be fine. Okay, there we go. Note to self, shopping list, new lash glue. Okay, so we're going to let that set for just a second. When you first put the adhesive on, you're going to see that it's like super, super shiny and very white. You can use a black lash glue if you like. Can be a little problematic if you're new, because once you touch it down, that black is going to be there. But you can use the dark glue. One thing I would caution you on is that the black glues almost always have latex in them. I evidently have a latex allergy on my eyes. Didn't know that. And so I can't actually do the black glue. So if you are having any eye watering or itchiness with your adhesive, it could be you're allergic to the latex too. All right, so we're going to grab that lash right there in the middle, and we're going to set that right in the middle, as close to that lash line as possible. And then we're going to get the inside edge of that and work that around here. Oh, that was fun. I just did that again. And then we're going to grab the outside edge and secure that. You may have to keep coming back just a little bit. There we go. And we're going to make sure that everything is touching where it's supposed to. Just double checking. Okay. Now we're going to grab the one on the other side. Right in the middle. Going to set that right down in the middle. There you go, right on that lash line. And no, it doesn't matter if you start on the outside or the inside. It's just, I think I usually start on the inside on my right eye, and then I start on the outside on my left eye. I don't know. And then we're just going to make sure that everything is touching where it's supposed to be. And we're going to take the tip of it and work our lashes into its lashes. So we get a seamless look. There we go. Double checking the security there on the inside. Do the same thing on the other side. All right. And now we have our lashes on. Okay, so let's review our verse one more time, and then we'll do our setting spray. So you can see scrolling across the bottom of your screen is our verse for this week. Let's wait till it scrolls around. There we go. You ready? The faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentation 3:22. All right, so you can see the shadow look we've got going on. I told you it looked like an Easter egg, how it matches with our lips we have going on. So now we're going to make sure that everything stays put all day as long as possible. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay. This is the D-Slick Long Time No Shine. Just get your hair pulled back just a smidge. Tip your head back, give a dusting. There you go. So things I love about the about the D-Slick. So if you have combo oily skin or normal, this is going to help you retain that pleasant matte finish all day long. It is going to seal in your makeup, so it's going to be less transfer resistant, reduce the possibility as much as possible. And then if you like a dewy finish, they've got a spray for that. If you like a super, super matte finish, they've got a spray for that. Just make sure you shake that ultra matte really good before you spray that. If you want additional SPF compared to what is just in the foundation, you can use one that has an SPF in it, and that will help with that. So for today, we have spent so much time together working on our makeup and some beauty on the inside as well. So thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. So love to chat with you online throughout the course of the week, or better yet, come see me at my store in Midlothian. I would love to meet you in person. And we are going to do a little bit of a review of the verses that we have had going along all this time. So you ready? The verses are going to go fast. Let's see how many of them you can get going. You ready? Here we go. Okay, I don't know about you, but some of those verses come kind of fast. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of review. And just a reminder that all of our verses are coming from the Word in Color coloring book. So you can see that link on your screen now, and then also the QR code for that. So use that to make sure that you get that. My website has a link on it too. So a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com. Alrighty. Wow, some of those verses, I just could not get the words in fast enough. All right. So you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You get it. So let us come out with our blessing as we finish out our week here. There we go. Remember to find word in song. I think that's one of the best ways to memorize scripture. So the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Oh, Heavenly Father, how I thank you so much for everyone that is hanging out with me here online and who will view this video later. Father, thank you so much for letting us be able to fellowship together, to work on beauty on the inside and beauty on the outside. Father, I just pray that you would help us to truly hide these words in our heart so that they might be accessible whenever we need them. Help us to put on that full armor, Father. I pray that you would help us to use these verses in our everyday life so that they would be ready for us to use for ourselves, for encouragement, to keep us out of trouble, Father. And I just pray that they would be ready at the top of our mind to help those around us as well. We just thank you so much for all these things today, and I pray a blessing on these people this week. In Jesus' name, I pray. Well, it has been a joy hanging out with you this week. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week. Remember to catch up with me on social media. Goodbye and God bless. Mwah!